This is the very first live broadcast, the live broadcast that we are doing in 2024. Isn't that great? The first live. What does that mean? Nothing really. But it depends upon what you give it. That's life. The information. There we go. Oh, this is what is the most important. It's what you think something means that matters. That's the issue. When you appoint, when you put something to it, you say, "Oh, they die in threes. Oh, look at this, so and so, they died in three. They all die in threes." Yes, but I don't see it that way. How you see things is critical. How you look at the world. Remember, there's no such thing as the news. It's how you react to the news. If I turn that part of you off, that allows you to react to something, there will never be a reaction. Don't be surprised if that is not tried through diet, through aerosolized spraying, through nanoparticulates, to be able to kind of lobotomize people. What if I could take your ability to react, your tendency to react to something, and change it? That's the most important thing. Because when it comes to most news, Americans just react. We don't really care one way or another. And we also have these people that react in a different way. Let me give you a story which I think is interesting. And this is something which I find so fascinating. I did a brand new video of sorts, and not of sorts, it will come up later on today on this channel. And I want to provide it to you accordingly. And it works like this. And this is a great topic because I know how you'll react. Transgender actress Tommy Dorfman. Now stop for a minute. Her name is Tommy. All right. Tommy Dorfman. She was in a Netflix show, 13 Reasons Why. You may have heard about this. Tommy Dorfman, again, a transgender named Tommy, who, I'm sorry to say, sometimes men look like men by virtue of musculature, by virtue of the way they say. You never know how a man is going to look when he's dressed like a woman. Remember the movie years ago with John Leguizamo, Patrick Swayze, and whoever the black actor was? They dressed up as women. Remember that? And the one who actually looked more like a woman, I think, was John Leguizamo. You never know. You just never know. Sometimes there are men who look more like women. Mick Jagger dressed as a woman looks like Mick Jagger dressed as a woman. I'm sure you've seen this. So when you happen to be a man, born a man, of larger stature, of larger, dare I say, musculature, and you are your clavicle, your traps, your deltoids, you just okay. If that's the way it is, and somebody looks at you and maybe is not necessarily conversant with what they're supposed to say, how they're supposed to say it, all this stuff, what are you supposed to do? Is it subject to a civil rights or human rights violation? The answer is it depends. Now I'm going to show you how to analyze this. And the first thing you're going to do is don't react the way you normally do. But before I begin, before we delve into this, because this is such a great story, I just like it. And it's not handled the way I want people to handle it. What I'd like you to do is, first of all, recognize something. On February the 3rd, right here, here's a link. I'm going to be at the Cutting Room in New York City. Doors open at 6. This is the link. This is the link for tickets. Now, everybody is welcome. We're going to have a friend of mine bringing their 11-year-old son. It's clean. It's interesting. It is not for children in terms of the subject matter, but not because of the sexual content. That is absolutely gratuitous, okay? And I will not storm off the stage like Dave Chappelle in this petulant, whatever it's moment where somebody had a phone on and somebody slipped by his whatever. I don't do that. I say, bring your phone, take pictures, record. What do I care? Okay. We'll talk about that in a moment. But that's something you must know. And here it is one more time. This is right here. This is it. Oops, 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 oops. Hang on a minute. Yes, indeed. It is a classy joint. So there it is, my friends. There it is right there. One more time. And you can also get it on my website. There is you can go to lionelmedia.com. You can go, or you go to the cutting room itself. There's that. You go to Eventbrite. It's very simple. I want to see you there. And I will not leave until I meet every one of you. Whether you want to meet me or not, I'm going to meet every one of you and take pictures and talk and all this stuff. All right. I'm not like Dave Chappelle, who, by the way, is a prima donna. Dave Chappelle is getting into this area where he doesn't have to worry about new material because he thinks, I'm Dave Chappelle. I don't have to worry about this. I'm Dave Chappelle. I'm going after these woke whatever. I'm Dave Chappelle. I don't have to be really funny anymore. I'm just naturally funny. I'm Dave. You got it? You got it? Believe it or not, the other day, I was listening to some stuff. Bill Burr actually made more. See, I don't like jokes, just plain old jokes, I like something that is rather typical or that is interesting, but phrased perhaps maybe as or in some kind of a comedic way. And I think Bill Burr was more interesting. Ricky Gervais has some good stuff. But the worst of the worst is Bill Maher. And Bill Maher doesn't know what he's doing. He's outclassed, out of his league. I don't know who writes his stuff. I have no idea. But he wants so hard to be relevant. And at least he's trying. You got to give him that. By the way, speaking of which, did you see Kathy Griffin? Kathy Griffin has, ever since she held up the mock severed head of Trump, she has been nowhere to be found. Kathy Griffin is just gone. Gone. So there's a picture of her meeting with Jane Fonda, and she's sad over the fact that she's getting a divorce, which is a very sad thing. But for some reason, I will never understand that thing she did about Trump with remember the severed head. It didn't catch on. In fact, it was real negative. She was doomed. Why do you think that was, perchance? Why do you think that was? Why? Why? I don't know. I love how some things make sense. Another thing too, you don't care about this, but I always love the social construct and the social contract. There's this woman, her name was Amy Robach. She was on ABC, I think Good Morning America. And she had an affair with this guy. Is it TJ or JT or Holmes or TJ? And he was like nothing. And this guy is a scalawag, a rake, a roue from way back. So she and he left, and she thought, I'm going to somehow put this thing together about this love affair, this sexual love affair. They even floated a story about how her ex-husband, Andrew Shue, is actually going out with his ex-wife. And it's complete nonsense. Anyway, and it's fascinating, and I want you to understand something. I sit back, not because I care about the story, but I'm saying, why do some stories take and some stories don't? This is the story. This is what 2024 is about. This is what I beg you. I want you to don't dismiss it. People dismiss it all the time. They love to dismiss. Oh, it doesn't matter. You're missing the point. You're missing the point. You're missing the point. If you ever want to go into the business of any kind of politics, you have to know why things work. Why things work. How are they done? The topic of today's story is 2024 commences, and it'll knock your, and the expression in the South is, I'll never forget the first time I heard it, knock your dick in the dirt. And I thought that was such a great, there was just, for some reason, I just love that expression. Years ago, somebody said, well, he's just, so-and-so just horny like a three-pecked goat. And I thought, oh my goodness, wonderful thoughts in the South, so to speak. But in any event, there it is right now. And that's today's topic. And what I want you in 2024 to say is, I'm going to look at this thing differently. This Amy Robot, I don't care about this. He's already probably moved on and said, look, we've tried this. I'm a scalawag. I'm a rake. I'm a roue. I'm done. See ya. Out of time, he goes, wait a minute, what about my this story about our love affair? The hell with it. No, but you don't understand. We had this podcast plan. We had this, and he says, I don't have any time for this. I'm moving on. You don't mean that much to me. I'm going. It's a fascinating story. That's number one. Another story, which is interesting, which you hate, but you're missing the point completely. Taylor Swift and that guy, whatever his name is. I want you to know this is not artificial intelligence. This is artificial media. They are creating out of nowhere this story. Do you hear what I'm saying? They're creating this story. It is everywhere. Daily Mail is the place to look. Daily Mail. Watch how that. Look at Ivanka Trump. Most probably she's paying them. Sometimes Daily Mail will pay you. Like, for example, the Royals. Oh yeah, that's the official. But Ivanka Trump, nobody cares about her. But for example, here she is with her toned arms or whatever it is. I mean, she is trying so desperately, hanging around with Kim Kardashian. By the way, Kim Kardashian never got any grief from going to the White House to meet the president when she supposedly cared about prisoners' rights and supposedly, or supposedly, as people say, and supposedly was going to be a lawyer. Remember that when Kim Kardashian said, I'm going to be a lawyer? Really? Okay. Well, anyway, you got to understand how this thing works. And I don't go into detail, but I'm saying I'll be a son of a gun. Taylor Swift, this is all manufactured. And the NDA this guy must have signed must be, I don't know how. It's just, I mean, my God. That's how things work. That's how things work. Now, here's another story. As I told you, there's Tommy Dorfman. I just did this and I'm fascinating. My question is, should this be subject to a human rights violation if you misgender someone? Yes or no? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Should misgendering people, write it down, tell me, should this be the subject of a human rights violation? Yes or no? Not is it, should it? It's critical that you let me know. Critical. I'll wait. I'll take my time. It's important. It's important. What do you think about that? Because I think one of my favorite sites, and I really respect this young lady is our friends from Libs of TikTok, who is just wonderful, wonderful, just absolutely wonderful. And do you think? Most of you say no, 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 no. The very question is an abomination. No, 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 no. Doesn't anybody believe? Doesn't anybody believe that misgendering? Don't you understand this? I was looking at some of the rules. The Ontario Human Rights Commission, this is Trudeau country, says the law recognizes that everyone has the right to self-identity or identify. Okay. And you can self-identify their gender, and that misgendering is a form of discrimination. As one human rights tribunal said, gender may be the most significant factor in a person's identity. It is intentionally personal. People ask, can I be sued for misgendering? Well, according to the California Civil Rights, California law prohibits intentional misgendering in the workplace. Intentional misgendering and other forms of discrimination based on gender identity and gender expression can be stressful and traumatic. How do you prove intentional? How do you prove intentional? What do you do? What do you do? Think about this. What do you do? Well, what if I deliberately do not recognize your faith as Jewish? Is that subject to anything? If I say, excuse me, I'm here at the, Walmart or whatever the company is, and you want to take off a day for religion. Well, you're not a Jew because you're showing Palestinian um, uh, inclination. So you cannot, in my mind, be a Jew. So I'm going to misreligious you. Would that be subject to any kind of thing? Is Barack Obama a black president or a white president? Remember the old joke? Is a zebra a white horse with black stripes or a black horse with white stripes? I don't know. I never really cared. But Barack Obama is biracial. So if I were to call him white, that he's a white president, because I think that black is 100% and white is any whatever. Could I be charged with misracializing him? Let's go through this. What if I get your age wrong? What if I get your age wrong? What if I go to somebody and I say, "Hi, how are you? Would you like the seniors?" By the way, I love senior citizen discounts. I don't know if you get these. I will take a senior citizen discount anywhere. I did it my whole. If you want to give it to me, I'll take it. I'll take it. But what if I look at you and I'm saying, "Would you like the senior citizen discount?" Whoa, whoa! Are you misaging me? Is that subject to? Now, but the question is, how do you prove it's intentional? How do you prove it's deliberate? What if I just made a mistake? Can you see where this is going? Oh, nightmare. So what happens? We now take everything that we're doing and we turn to the other little avenue of theater called social media. And this, of course, is a mouse. But what's critical is that we go to this other theater of whatever it's called, and we put it up there so you can see it. Because if you're Tommy Thurman or whatever her name is it her name, him name? If somebody is if you're reading the Tommy, I don't know what. I don't know. Remember there was Charlie. The Charlie. Remember that? Bobby Short. It was Shelley Hack. Remember that, honey? Shelley Hack was uh, Charlie. Okay. Do you see how silly this gets? Yes. Can this become silly? Oh, yes. Absolutely. Very much silly. Very, very silly. But what it is this is also Tommy Thurman says, I need to do something. So I'm going to upload this and I'm going to act. And there's this thing, by the way, that people do. And nobody wants to address it. But it's this obnoxious, know it all, punctilious, priggish, clipped, excuse me, I am not, my pronoun is mer, or whatever. It's not that you have a different pronoun. It's their attitude. Excuse me. You don't understand. It's that thing. Well, I believe you're intentionally misgendering. This guy's at. Did you see this? Just you got to see this. This gender, this Delta. The guy's at a thing. I said, "Would you hurry up? I don't have time for this stuff." And he may personally think it's stupid. I don't really know, but this is kind of where we're going. Now, understand something. Let me stop you right there. And this is very, very, very critical. Please do not laugh at the notion of something that you don't agree with. You might not agree with it, and you may think, well, that's stupid. No, this is what's happening in our world today. Do not dismiss Taylor Swift. Do not dismiss what's happening. One of the greatest about how we manufacture, I don't want to say manufacture consent because it sounds like Noam Chomsky, but we manufacture interest. We manufacture interest. We manufacture this ability for you to all of a sudden care about something. It is the most fascinating thing of all. Now, during the course of the weekend, I've been reading things about mind control, menticide, brainwashing, all of this stuff, which is So interesting. And the idea of this parallel universe called social media. I know people, one in particular who's a male, who says, "Look at me, I'm at such and such on New Year's Eve, or here I am, and I swear to God, I can put up, as far as I'm concerned, and the problem with the Constitution, nobody cares. But if I do this picture, all of a sudden they'll say, you're so handsome. Oh, I love it. You get like 100 likes. It's like, what is this? And there are women in particular who just do nothing, but they live in this world, in this world called. Thank you, Edgar Dweller. Gifted 10 Lionel Nation memberships. Thank you, dear friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you immensely. This is what's happening right now. This is what's happening. We're living in a world. We have an election coming up. Where do you think most people are going to get their information from? Where do you think? What? George Stephanopoulos? No. ABC? No. Where do you think people are going to get their news from? Where do you think people are going to get their news from? And who verifies any of this? Who? So understand this. I don't care if you agree with it. I don't care if it means anything to you. People love to say, well, whatever it is. Let me give you another example. People also love to be jerks on public media or social media. They love to be jerks. They really do. And there's a story that's going on about Bill Clinton is client number 36 or whatever it was, or is it 36 or something? Anyway, he's supposedly this client. Oh yeah, Bill exposed. Bill Clinton to be unmasked as Doe 36, ID'd more than 50 times in Epstein document dump. Let me tell you what this means. Nothing. Nothing. I've been telling you this. Nothing. Nothing. It means nothing. Let me try this again. It means nothing. Nothing. Because we've always known. Do you know how many people have been on ships and on planes with Epstein? 1,000,000 times. Half of the New York intelligentsia, half of the news people, they've all been on board or whatever it is with Epstein. What does it matter? There's no indication that he had sex with anybody. There's no indication that he broke the law. None. So today I was saying this doesn't mean anything. So some smartass sits behind his say, you apparently don't care. I say, no, numbnuts. You don't understand what's going on. This doesn't mean anything. If I represented Bill Clinton, I'm going to say, should I read the list of the people who have been to Epstein's home, his plane, his yeah, but he was a pedophile, as people say. Do you know how many people in Hollywood are pedophile? Anybody ever go to a Roman Polanski party? Anybody? Anybody ever go to a Hugh Hefner party? Hugh Hefner was demented. You want me to do this? You want me to talk about this? You want me to talk about people who have anybody hang around Charlie Chaplin? Anybody? Should we go throughout history? Where have you been? Yeah, but he's a pedophile. Well, everybody knew that. Everybody knew this was going on. Did you ever go to a Charlie Rose issue? But Charlie Rose was bounced. I knew he was having problems, and I didn't even work there. Matt Lauer. Anybody been to a Matt Lauer? This man has been accused of rape and other variety of things. He's, of course, innocent until proven guilty, but he's been accused of all kinds of things with rooms that are locked. Anybody do that? Well, if you do not associate with people in Hollywood or New York or LA who are predators or sexual freaks, you wouldn't believe. And by the way, there's some great stuff going around. I don't know if it's going to come out, but the number of people who are themselves looking at very serious allegations of how do I say this? For lack of a better word, some pretty serious stuff. It'll blow your mind. Because remember something. The key to Epstein and others is who has the information, who has the data, who has the data. That's the bottom line. Okay, stand back for a second, my friend. Stand back, stand down. Listen carefully. This is, as you know, the time. Two things I'm going to say to you. Number one, I'm just going to say it very, 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 how do I say this? I'm going to say this very, very calmly. And I'm not going to scream and yell. I'm going to just tell you, if you are smart and you believe in preparing for what you need to do, you're going to do two things. Number one, you're going to go to preparewithlionel.com right there. Prepare with Lionel. It's emergency food. I don't know how to tell you any other. I don't know how to tell you other than preparewithlionel.com. This is what you are going to need. Believe me when I tell you this. In the event of catastrophe, which you know is going to happen. Okay. Second of all, again, we love this man like you cannot believe. This, of course, is the inimitable, the ineffable. This is mypillow.com. And here is the link for that. Very simple. Just go and look, promo code Lionel, free gift, and just look at what's available, and you will not believe it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to bludgeon you with the facts. Preparewithlionel.com, mypillow.com/Lionel. Promo code. That's it. Now, dear friends, there's so much. Let me ask you something. What do you think of Dave Chappelle dropping his mic and walking off because somebody used the phone? When I was at the cutting room one night, after my show was Dave Chappelle was coming. And he was trying out some of his, I didn't meet him, but I kind of opened for him theoretically. And his crew came in. And they have these bags or something where you put all the phones in and that sort of thing. There's a name for it. And I thought it made sense. So people can't steal his material or whatever. Well, somebody, obviously, I think it was in Hollywood or Hard Rock or something, went out of their way and said, hey, guess what? And he said, I thought I told you not to do that. So he just stopped and walked off the stage. I thought it was pedantic. I thought it was. I know people say, could not care less. I know that. I know that, slug. I know. That's not what we're talking about. I didn't ask you if you cared about this. I'm saying this is the news story that's out today. And what do you think about the news story? And what do you think about Chappelle being propped up as some kind of a, making some effort to, I don't know, do one for the honest people, for civility? That's the issue. That's the issue. Okay? Liz says, what is he, like 10 years old? Oh, I'm with you. All those people who wanted, all those people who went, who showed up and paid money and got tickets and sitters and went, and he gets a hair up his ass and he walks off. Why is that okay? Why how does that help anything? And how is it being phrased? Because that's what you got to watch next. You got to watch it next. And I know we don't care about this. I know people love to go out of the way. I don't care. I don't care about Kathy Griffin. I don't care about New Year's Eve. I don't care about the media. I don't care about Epstein. I don't care about Bill Clinton. I don't care about Tommy Dorfman. I don't care. I don't care. Well, what do you care about? I don't know. I just love to say I don't care. I don't care. You're missing the point. You're missing the point. The point is, as a person who is looking at the images of the world and looking at how things work, you've got to be able to say, I see what's happening. Let me give you another answer, another one. You're going to love this one. Now, this means more than you'll ever imagine, okay? How about this? Japan quake horror. Victims buried alive. Tsunami waves. Evacuations. One of these days, let me tell you something. Listen to what I'm saying, and I hope you care about this. I know you probably don't care about this. I don't care about Japan. I don't care. Okay, but assuming you do. One of these days, they're going to show that you can point and direct Tesla waves at tectonic criticality points and create, generate, and or inspire earthquakes and tsunamis. And if you can do this as a harness, if you can do this, if you can harness this, oh, I if you can harness this, do you know what this means? You've got a weapon, the likes of which tsunamis, because tsunamis are that's earthquake. It's almost like you being in the tub. You know, when you're in a tub and you move back and the water comes this way. Maybe you don't care about that. I don't know. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Okay, okay, okay. Another one too, by the way, Melee. You know, the totally full of shite. Biggest blowhard you will ever hear. He doesn't want to talk. I'm not going to talk to the China because they're communists, and I don't talk with communists. Really? I'm not going to talk to Putin. I'm not going to talk to Xi Jinping. I'm not going to. The guy is so full of shit. It's not even funny. I mean, profoundly. He'll last one time. He's doing this stuff and kind of to throw people like Tucker off. Is he good? Is he like Orban? No, he's not. No. This is ridiculous. You don't want this guy. It's all about him. He's a propagandist and no. Remember you heard this. Just remember this. You're going to be hearing more, even though you don't care about it. I don't care about Argentina. I know. I know. Here's a big story too. Tucker launches attack on Shapiro. I don't know why that's important. Doesn't matter. Chief Justice Roberts says AI will transform how courts work. I have been telling you, like you're I know people are sick of it. Why? Because people say, I don't care about it. What is it, a robot or something? I don't care. Well, whatever. I don't care. I love this thing. Well, what do you care about? I don't know. I don't care about that. Now, here's a story. I'm going to tell you this one story, which is the most interesting, which is really interesting. Where is this one? I'm going to show you this one. This one you'll care about. Oh, I know you'll care about this because I know where you're going. Let me see. Where is that? This is where is that heart story, honey? Is it Drudge? I guess.
Well, I sent it to you.
Oh.
Yeah, it was from Drudge.
Okay. I don't know why I can't find it. I'm going to read this one story because people are going to go nuts over this one. Let me try this. Let me try this again. Hang on. Just a second. I want you to read this. I want you to, because I know what you're going to say. Here we go. Okay, look at this story. Death rates from rare heart condition surging among young Americans. A troubling trend in America's heart health is emerging, and doctors are aiming to bring more awareness to the problem. While death rates from ineffective endocarditis have generally declined across the U.S. over the past 2 decades, they have alarmingly increased among young adults aged 25 to 44. Ineffective endocarditis, often referred to as bacterial endocarditis, is a rare but serious condition where bacteria enter the bloodstream and infect the heart lining, valves, or blood vessels. It poses a higher risk to individuals with heart valve abnormalities. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, why? Study was conducted. It points to the alarming rise in death rates among young adults. Our study finds raise a public health concern. Why do you think that is? Why younger adults? Let me see. The study utilizes CDC's multiple causes of data set to analyze national trends and disparities across different demographics, from 1999 to 2020. Despite the decline in infective, did I say ineffective? Is that what I said? That's funny. Did I say that ineffective? It's infective. I was calling it ineffective. Forgive me. Uh anyway, different ways to prevent it. Oral hygiene, also, as you know, flossing is very important. Treat dental infections promptly, very important. General hygiene, managing existing conditions, control heart valve problems, treat ongoing infections. Um, Very interesting. Now, you know what's going to happen, right? Okay. People are going to say, aha, vaccine, right? Vaccine. They're going to say this, even though they're saying, no, that's infective. No, 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 no. It's that, and they will create. Now, maybe you don't care about this. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you don't care about this. But I do, not so much in terms of the information. What I'm interested in is look how people are going to react to it. It's fascinating. They have this thing as it's obviously the vaccine. Why is it the vaccine? Well, because it just is. Remember, take the story. Number one, look at the reaction. Number two, look at what will make people react to it. What is it that is effective and not? Why, for example, has AI and AGI not grabbed people's attention? Why is it that you have the story? I've been immersed in Yemen and Houthis. That's the story. But forget it because Americans don't know anything about because they don't care about geography. I don't care. Whatever. Americans love not to care. But why is that? This is what I want you to do, dear friends. I want you to always think about this. And I want you to look at why things react that way. Okay? Analyze this. Why do some stories matter? Why do some stories not matter? Will there be another COVID? Absolutely. It's not going to be called COVID, but it's going to be called something else. And it may not have a vaccine, but there's going to be their masks or some type of palliative or prophylactic that will be some prophylaxis that will be recommended. And we will be going through the same business before because deep down inside, Americans love to be pushed around. Love it. I know more people who were never happier than when they could stay inside and hunker down and be afraid by virtue of what they saw. It's absolute God's honest truth. God's honest truth, which is true. All right, my friends. Now, a couple of things. First and foremost, number one, I'm going to say this to you. Please follow Mrs. L at her YouTube channel. Some of the best stuff and the most interesting people who are fighting. You should see the stories. This is a classic. Woman on TikTok, woman on Facebook, woman on Instagram, fighting, whatever it is. Picture, look how sexy I am. Well, she doesn't say that, but it's like, here I am. And what is it? You're beautiful. You're so beautiful. I'm thinking, I can't believe this. I can't believe what I'm saying. What is this? What is going on here? Say, what are you doing? What are you? This is about you, isn't it? Yeah, it's about me. Well, what are you doing to tell people? Well, I talk about pedophiles every now and then, but it's about me. It's and in a weird way because it's kind of a sexual matter, even though it deals with predation. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna show my look at me and look how I'm. I swear to God, social media provides a secondary platform in our reality to explain and for people to look and see what happens. The most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, don't forget right now, my friends. February 3rd, just a month away. Let's face it. I want to see you. And if you think this stuff is fun, we're gonna have music. I'm gonna get out the guitar, play some funk bucket and junk bucket, and we're gonna. Oh, you go. I don't care. Anyway, but still, this you will care about. This I promise you will care about. You will care about this. Also, I have a brand new newsletter. Have you signed up for the newsletter? Have you signed up for my newsletter? It's free, absolutely free. There it is right now. Sign up for that. And I can throw all kinds of stuff at you and just kind of make you think. Because remember, I want you to think. I don't want to sit here and just read headlines. I'm going to tell you this is what the headline means. This is why the headline's important. This is why you as a citizen should be concerned. All right, dear friends, happy, whatever the hell it is, New Year's Day. I hope everybody has a great and a glorious day. Don't do any type of New Year's resolutions. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Stop it. Don't say anything. Don't talk about weight loss, going to the gym, nothing. Don't. 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 Just think about what you need to change, and then we'll handle it accordingly. But don't be like everybody else who goes, this year I'm going to stop it. Because they're all at the gym today. It's a waste of time. And remember something too. More important than gym is diet. I know you don't want to hear that. I don't care. Well, trust me on that one. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. See you tonight at 7 p.m. And until then, my friends, don't forget the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dad.